Hello guys, welcome to another new interesting video friends. Today we are going to start a completely new and amazing cultivation series in which our main character is born without any special spiritual roots, but his luck suddenly changes when he gets a mysterious cauldron. This journey is going to be full of power, mysteries and dangerous twists which will keep you hooked till the end, so without any delay let's start this new story. At the beginning of the story, we see our main character Zheng, who is sitting in a room and doing cultivation. He has a glowing spirit stone in his hand through which he was absorbing energy. He opens his eyes and gets a little worried and says that doing cultivation without spiritual roots is really a big waste of spirit stones. If the clan leader had not been so kind to him and given him 3 spirit roots and some spirit stones every month, then he would have been able to move ahead. It was impossible. He looks at the spirit stone in his hand, which had now completely turned into rock. He says that just by relying on this fire guiding technique, he will not be able to tick properly even on the 4th layer of QE condensation. Saying this, he stands from his place and opens the door of the room and comes out. He comes straight to a place like a kitchen where there was arrangement for cooking. He takes out rice in a vessel and pours water in it, then he starts his journey. Using his finger, he casts a fire magic which sets the wood on fire. He places the vessel on the fire and the rice starts cooking. After some time, we see that Zheng is eating that rice. Spiritual energy starts flowing in his body while eating each bite. After eating the food, he starts meditating by batting on the ground there. He places his hands on his knees and controls his breathing. Red-colored energy starts glowing in his stomach area, which slowly starts to glow. Slowly it was spreading all over his body. He opens his eyes and says with sweat on his forehead that if I do cultivation at this speed, in the coming half year, I will definitely make a breakthrough on the 5th layer of QE condensation, but he also regretted that consuming the spirit rise in this way was becoming too expensive for him because he was already short of resources. After this, the scene shifts and we see the Zheng running fast towards a mountain. He runs and comes inside a cave where there was darkness and stones were hanging from above that cave. He stands in the middle and puts his right hand forward and focuses his energy. An orange-colored fireball is created in his hand. He throws this fireball with full force to attack the wall of the cave, due to which a big explosion occurs there and dust starts flying. Zheng, looking at the power of this attack, says that its power is fine but the speed of casting this magic is very slow. If an enemy attacks suddenly, then I will not have time to react. Therefore, I will have to practice this technique so much that I can cast it instantly. Saying this, he gathers his energy again and creates a new fireball. He starts attacking continuously. He keeps throwing fireballs one after the other without stopping. There were continuous explosions inside the cave and dust was spreading all around. He keeps attacking until all the energy in his body is exhausted and he completely collapses and falls on the ground. His breathing was labored and he was very tired. He bats on the ground again and starts recovering his energy. After some time, he stands up again and this time with both his hands, he falls on the hole made in the wall, where a strange small vessel was kept. He asks with surprise, "What is this thing? Even after so many of my fireball attacks, there is not even a scratch on it." He moves forward and takes that vessel out of the wall. This is a small vessel. There was a bronze cauldron whose design looked quite old. Zheng looks at it carefully and wonders whether it is an ancient treasure left by some old senior. He folds the cauldron in his hands and checks it, but he doesn't see anything special in it. He gets a little disappointed and says that it seems I was getting happy for no reason. It's just a broken cinder. After 10 minutes we see that the Zheng was still holding the cauldron in his hand. He says that even though it looks like a cinder, it has withstood my fireballs without any damage, so at least it could be some good refining material. Thinking this, he takes out his storage bag from him and tries to put that cauldron in it, but that cauldron does not go inside that storage bag. Zheng is surprised and says that why is it not going inside me? This is the first time that I have seen that a storage bag is not able to store any inanimate thing inside itself. After this, he picks up that cauldron in his hands and brings it back to his room. He keeps that cauldron on a table in his room. Then suddenly there is a knock on the door. When Zheng opens the door, his third uncle Hong was standing there. Zheng, who sees him, folds both his hands and bows respectfully and asks, "Third uncle, how did you come here suddenly?" Third uncle, coming inside the room, says that I was just coming back from outside after completing some family work, so on the way, I thought that I should inquire about your well-being. He sits on a chair and asks Lu Jingzhou, "How is it? Everyone, have you become accustomed to living here in this place?" Lu Jingzhou stands in front of him and says smilingly, "Yes, everything is going well, I have no problem." Third uncle looks at him carefully and asks, "Jingzhou, tell me the truth, do you have any anger in your heart against the clan leader? He has sent you to this place where spiritual energy is so low and you have to live here alone for 3 years. Because of this, you are so good." Hearing that his talent is being completely wasted, Lu Jingzhou immediately steps forward and says, "Third uncle, what are you talking about? I am a part of the Lu family, so it is my duty to contribute to the family. And by the way, the clan leader already treats me very well. He has even given me resources." Third uncle smiles and says that you don't need to be so worried. He takes out a shining storage bag from him and gives it to Lu Jingzhou. Along with that bag was a small bottle. Third uncle says that there are 4 chi condensation pills inside this bottle. These are very helpful in increasing your cultivation level. They will help you. Spiritual energy is very low in this place, so with these resources, you will not let your cultivation lag behind others. Lu Jing, who is completely shocked after seeing these pills, says that in exchange for 2 spirit stones, you only get 1 chi condensation pill. This means that third uncle has given me my entire cultivation resources for a year at once. He immediately refuses. Hui says that third uncle, these are very precious, I cannot separate them, but third uncle interrupts him and says that Zheng, I have become old now, what will happen to the family in the future? It all depends on new and young people like you, you are the most hopeful person in the family, I am giving you this resource because I want to see that our family becomes more powerful in the future. Saying this, third uncle they leave from there and losing who keeps watching them go. After third uncle leaves, losing who rests on the table and looks at those pills. When he opens the lid of the bottle, a very powerful spiritual energy starts coming out of it. Losing Zone, feeling that energy, says that it has amazing spiritual energy. Now I understand how the elite disciples of those big families increased their cultivation so fast. The effect of these pills is really tremendous. It is that he closes the bottle back, then the scene shifts and we see the scene outside where some disciples of Lu family were standing near the stairs surrounding a small child and were teasing him. The child was standing scared on the ground and then there was a losing sight of him. Joe comes, looking at all of them angrily, he says, "Why are the disciples of Lu family making such noise here? What is all this going on?" Everyone calms down as soon as he comes. Lu Jing goes to the little child and asks him to tell me what is going on here. The child tells in a scared voice that my name is Lu Fang and I was born in Yizhuang. Do you guys like our village chief? He has completely forgotten the rules of the family. He points to a disciple and says, "Go and immediately bring that village chief to me here." After a while, 2 disciples tell an old man that he made a big mistake, I was not able to understand. Please forgive me and punish me. Lu Jing, who looks at everyone else and loudly announces in front of everyone that from today onwards your village chief will be his. Later, Lu Jingzhou comes to the door of Linglong Pavilion, taking that injured child Lu Fang with him. He tells him that your age is perfect for the spirit root test, so I will let you test him. Lu Jingzhou had kept his bottle of chi condensation pills. Out of curiosity, Lu Fang picks up the bottle in his hand and as soon as he looks at it, the bottle slips from his hand and all the glitter from it falls out which he had brought from the cave and kept on the table. Lu Jing quickly runs to the cauldron and looks into it. He sees that the pill had completely disappeared after going inside the cauldron. He is my own, so I am forgiving you, but if you disturb someone's things like this at any other place, then perhaps you will not even get a chance to speak. After this, Lu Jingzhou takes her to a magical array placed in front of her and Lu Jingzhou was completely shocked after seeing this scene and says that this is this. Then a voice comes from the door and there the clan leader Lu Inhao and 6th Aunt Lu Yinjiao come inside. Seeing this, the clan leader starts laughing loudly and happily says that this is indeed the earth and the dual spirit root. Our Lu family's fortunes have truly brightened. He will take that child as his, calling him near and caressing his head, he has to keep his secret. 6th Art picks up the child in her lap and goes away from there. After they leave, clan leader Lu Jing speaks with Zoe alone. He says, Jing, what do you think? After Lu Fang's arrival, he is impressed by the wisdom and puts his hand on her shoulder and says that you are right. We will first keep him here with us and inculcate love for the family in his heart and then somehow send him to some big place. He comes into the room and starts searching for the cauldron, but he can't find it anywhere. He gets worried and says, where has it gone? I used to love this room. After searching every nook and corner, where did that QE condensation pill disappear? Then he remembers that he had completely forgotten about it yesterday because of Lu Fang. He goes to his bed and looks down to see that the cauldron was kept under the bed. He takes it out with both his hands and looks inside it. As soon as he looks inside, his eyes widen with surprise. There was no pill inside the cauldron, but there were two shining plants growing inside. One plant had long leaves and the other had a small fruit on it. Lu Jing, who is surprised, says, what is this? When I brought this cauldron from the cave, there was nothing in it. Has someone kept it here behind my back? No, this is impossible because no one has come to my room. He picks up one of those plants in his hand and says that I do not have much knowledge about spirit herbs. Unable to understand what is the use of them, he keeps them safely in his bag and goes out of the room. He decides that he will ask Six Tant about this because he has good knowledge about herbs. He runs fast through the mountain path and reaches Six Tant's place where Six Tant was standing in the losing zone. He goes to them and bows to them saying that Six Tant, I had a job for you. He shows them the plants and asks who is this? What are spirit herbs and what are their uses? She looks at the plants and tells that these are Ching Xin grass and Ninki fruit. Both of these spirit herbs are used to make QE condensation pills. Hearing this, Lu Jing gets a jolt in his mind. He thinks in his mind that the QE condensation pill of mine had fallen in this cauldron, which means that the cauldron has changed that pill back to its original ingredients. He says to Six Tant that very much yours. Thank you for telling me. Six Tant asks him, where did you get these two herbs? Lu Jing says that I got them suddenly some time ago, so I did not know anything about them. Six Tant gives him a Z-slip and says that this Z-slip has information about the common spirit herbs of the cultivation world. You keep it with you and read it carefully. Lu Jing thanks them and runs away from there. He comes running fast back to his room and closes the door. He comes near that cauldron and takes out the remaining herb from it. Then he takes out a spirit stone from him and puts it inside that cauldron. As soon as the spirit stone goes inside, a magical water is formed inside the cauldron which starts rotating, and within no time that spirit stone disappears. Lu Jing says that it happened as I thought. This cauldron absorbs spiritual energy and turns any pill back to its original form. It means that through it I can find out the recipe of any pill. I can even turn the useless and failed pills back into their ingredients and refine them again. This means that I will never fail in pill refining. If this thing also works on talismans and weapons, then it will not be a dream for me to reach the foundation, establishment or core formation level. He happily looks at that cauldron and says that you can turn anything into it, so you can send it back to the source. So from today onwards I will name you Sui Wan Ding, but the next moment you will be losing Zhou. Oh gets tension on his face. He thinks that it is very dangerous for a common man to have such a precious thing. If anyone gets even the slightest inkling about this heavenly item, the entire Lu family will be destroyed in a moment. I will have to keep this a secret at any cost. He makes a magic sign with his eyes and tries to absorb that cauldron inside his body, but there is no effect on the cauldron. Lu Jing gets worried and says that it did not react at all. Given that I am not able to refine it within myself, it would be very difficult to carry it with me everywhere. He picks up the cauldron and hides it under a table and says that thankfully, it looks absolutely amazing. I just have to hope that no high-level cultivator can recognize its true form. After this, the scene shifts and we see that the losing zone has successfully made a breakthrough on the 5th layer of QE condensation. He opens his eyes and takes a deep breath. Taking it, he says that finally I have reached the 5th layer. He wraps the cauldron in a cloth and keeps it in his bag and comes out of the room. As soon as he comes out, he meets the eldest sister Losing You, who is drinking tea there. She looks at him and says with surprise that hey, you have made a breakthrough on the 5th layer of QE condensation. What are you doing here? You go quickly and report the completion of your task to the elder. Losing You bows to them and says okay, I am leaving now. He leaves from there and comes to a big hall where second uncle Louis and Ben were sitting reading a book. Second uncle was on the 7th layer of QE condensation. Losing Zhou comes in front of them and bows and says, "Second uncle, I have come to submit my task." Second uncle looks at him and says happily that QE condensation 5th layer feels very good. In these 3 years you have not been lazy at all. You have completed your task very well. For this you get 8 contribution points. What do you want to do with them? Zhou says that I want to exchange spirit snacks with them. Second uncle says, "Okay, now that you have come to the 5th layer, you go to Qingyan Market and take care of our family's grocery store there." This was the idea of your third uncle, losing. Zhou says, "Okay, I will follow the orders of the family." Second uncle further says that the Jingzhou family wants you to move forward, but we do not have enough resources to help you completely, so it would be better. Along with cultivation, you should learn some craft like pill refining or weapon making. This will help you a lot in the future. The path of foundation establishment is very difficult, hence the family cannot give you much. Losing Zone understands and thanks them. Only then second uncle takes out some spirit stones and a red-colored talisman in his hand. That talisman starts floating in the air. Second uncle explains that this is a fire explosion talisman. It can make a huge explosion in a single blow. Its power is so much that it can withstand the full power attack of the late-stage cultivator of QE condensation. It is of no use to me now, but it will definitely help in saving your life. Take this and keep it with you. You will have to decide the way forward yourself. Lu Jing, who takes the talisman in his hand and bows to him. He says, "Second uncle, I will never forget your help." After this, Lu Jing who leaves from there and walks towards Qingyan Market. He travels looking at the mountains and beautiful views on the way. Finally he reaches a very big and crowded place. There was a big stone on which was written in big letters, Qingyan Fangshi. This market was very big and there were a lot of people roaming around there. Different items were being sold in the shops and cultivators were going here and there. Lu Jing who goes inside that market and moves ahead looking at the shops around. He says, "That's it, this is Qingyan Fangshi." While walking, he stops in front of an old shop. Lu Family Grocery Store was written on a wooden boat above the shop. Lu Jing opened the door and went inside. Inside, a boy was fast asleep with his head on the counter. This was his second brother, Lu Jing, who was on the 3rd layer of qi condensation. The family elders will come to know. Second brother gets up rubbing his eyes and looking at losing Zhou while taking a bath. He says, "Third brother, you are also watching. Not a single customer has come to our shop for half a day, so what is the point of working so hard? No matter how much we want to wait, no one is going to come here." Losing Zhou, listening to him, says in a serious voice that second brother, "You also know very well about the condition of the family. Can I rely only on my hard work and cultivation? Do we have the materials to make fire, sun, wood and bigu pill in our shop?" Second brother is a little surprised to hear this and asks, "Third brother, do you not want to learn pill refining? If you believe me, then use these resources on your cultivation, don't waste them here and there." Losing who says that second brother, "I know, but suddenly I have a beginner's pill. I got the refining manual, so I want to try it once." Second brother understands and takes out some shining spirit stones from him and places them on the table. He says that we have fire sun wood in our shop, but you will have to buy the materials for the bigu pill from outside the market. Keep these 10 spirit stones from my side, but remember that you will have to return them to me because we are definitely brothers, but the score should be equal. Lu Jing who smiles and says, saying this, Lu Jing, who comes out of the shop and goes back to the market, comes across the stall of the same girl from whom he had bought the pill refining manual some time ago. The girl's name was Chuyanren. Chuyanren is happy to see her. And she says, "Taoist, let's meet after a long time, what do you want this time?" Lu Jing who says, "I need some materials to make bigu pill, can I get it at your shop?" Chuanran, feeling a little embarrassed, says, "Taoist, I'm sorry, but I don't have those materials. You can go to the spirit herb stall in front and check." Lu Jing, who thanks him, starts to leave, then Chuanran stops him and asks his name. Lu Jing, who is his? Chuyanren tells the name, "My name is Chuyanren and I want to make a business deal with you. If you successfully refine the pills in the future, can you keep them for sale in this shop of mine? this will save your time of sitting in the market, and in return I will take a little commission from you. Zheng is surprised at her words and says, Shu Yanran, how can you trust me so much? How do you know that I will really make the pills, Shu? Yanran says smilingly, I just want to keep one chance in my hand. Zheng Zhou says okay, first let me successfully refine the pills, then we will talk about it, but I promise that if I have the pills, I will come to you first. After this, the scene shifts and we see Zheng Zhou in her room. She had collected wood on the ground, and on top of them, she had kept that mysterious bronze cauldron of hers on the ground. Using the bat, he uses his magic power and sets fire to the wood. The fire starts burning fast and the cauldron starts getting hot. Zheng, who is completely focused, says, my first pill starts refining. He pours a little water inside the cauldron with the gesture of his hand, and then Bigu puts the contents of the pill in it. He was controlling the fire with his magic power and sweat was dripping from his forehead. He closed his eyes and did the whole thing. Increases the fire with concentration, light starts coming out from inside the cauldron. Zheng Zhou says that my success or failure now depends on this one effort, but suddenly the rate on the cauldron, she starts reading and there is a huge explosion. Dust and smoke spread all over the room due to the explosion. Zheng Zhou flies in the air and hits the wall and falls on the ground. His clothes were completely ruined and his face had turned black. He bats on the ground and says in a coughing voice that it seems I thought pill refining was very easy, it is not that easy. After that we see that Zheng Zhou has completed, the room had been cleaned and he was also cleaning his cauldron with a trowel. Inside the cauldron were a lot of black and burnt failed pills. Zheng, who looks at the contents of the last big pill placed in front of him and says that this is my last chance. He puts the remaining herbs in the cauldron and lights the fire again. This time, correcting his previous mistake, he was controlling both of his eyes very carefully. Magic energy was coming out of the hands and going into the cauldron. The liquid inside the cauldron was spinning fast. Zheng, who was using his full power, shouted angrily that he needed just a little more fire. He put all his energy into the cauldron and finally a bright light came out from inside the cauldron. Zheng, who quickly moved forward and removed the pressure of the cauldron, round-shaped pills had formed inside it. However, there were a few cracks on them, but it was completely successful. Zheng Zhou picks up those pills in his hands and starts laughing loudly after seeing them. Tears of happiness were coming out of his eyes. He says while crying and laughing that it was really very difficult, but in the end I did it. After this he picks up those failed black pills and puts them back inside the cauldron. He activates the cauldron and lo and behold, the failed pills turn back into green spirit herbs. Zheng Zhou, who was going completely crazy after seeing this scene, happily exclaims that as long as I have this cauldron and I keep making failed pills, I can turn them back into materials and try them indefinitely. This is followed by a short montage where Zheng Zhou continues making failed pills. Sometimes he was laughing with joy and sometimes he was refining new materials. He had collected many small white bottles in front of him in which he had kept the pills he had made. He picks up one bottle and checks the energy coming out of it and says that my success rate has now reached 7%. Now the time has come to earn some spirit stones by selling these pills. These words after doing so, he puts all those bottles in a bag and runs quickly back to his Liu family's grocery store in Qianyan Market. Inside the shop, second brother was still doing some calculations on his abacus. Zheng, who comes inside the shop and puts his bag on the table, was still in very bad condition and his clothes were covered with dust and grime. Second brother is surprised to see him in this condition and asks that third brother, what is all this, how did you get into such a condition? And yes, let me tell you in advance that I have not yet forgotten the account of those 10 spirit stones. Zheng, who smiles and says that I have not come here to ask you for a loan. Saying this, he takes out 5 white bottles from his bag and puts them on the table. As soon as he sees the pills present in them, his eyes widen with surprise, he stammers. Third brother asks, have you really successfully refined the pills? Zheng Zhou politely answers that yes, but I am just a beginner, I used about 30 materials, only then my success rate has come up to 30%. Zheng Zhou further says, second brother, can our shop buy these pills, because I don't have a single spirit stone left. We have become an alchemist myself, so the situation is perfect. It's different, I give you a deal, you handle the work of refining the pills, and I will do the work of selling them in the market, Whatever profit will be made from it, we both will divide it in half. Tell me, do you see Losing Joe in his room? This time he was refining the pills with even more confidence. The cauldron was floating in the air, and Losing Joe was controlling the materials inside it with his magic power. Yes, this time he had successfully refined the Qingling powder, which turns green and sees that second brother. Inside this bag there are 50 bottles of Bigu pill and 30 bottles of Qingling powder. I think we should stop making Bigu pill now and focus completely on Qingling powder, because its demand is high in the market and it will also bring more profit. Second brother was happy to see so many pills inside that bag. He had a serious expression on his face. It was his third uncle Lu Yinhong. Second brother immediately bows after seeing him. Third uncle comes inside and asks, "Where are you guys preparing to go?" Second brother happily tells third uncle, "Look at this, all these pills have been refined by third brother. We only have these in the market that." "Yes, third uncle, we are selling in the normal way. Is there any mistake in this?" Third uncle angrily hits his necklace on the table and shouts, saying that you guys, how stupid you are. Qingyun market is a very high-end place. If there are so many people here suddenly, if they find out that Lu Jing is an alchemist, do you think our Lu family will be able to save him? They will take him away and forcefully turn him into a tool to make pills for their family. His life has no idea. An alchemist is a great resource for any family. If anyone finds out, they can go to any extent to get you. Both of you quickly pack your things and get out of here. Uncle was standing on a very high mountain. In front of him was a very huge and magnificent city, whose walls were touching the sky. Big magical runes were shining on the walls. Losing who does not take it completely after seeing this sight. Only then Losing who sees that in front of him is a man without a line. "I was going straight inside the city," he asks third uncle. "Why is that man not standing in the line?" Third uncle explains in a serious voice that he takes him to the room and gives him some materials packed in paper. He says, "Jing, you will use these materials tonight. Refining 30 Bigu pills, 40 Kungling powder and 20 Ninki pills. I and second brother take them back and refine those materials." He prepares all the pills very quickly and smoothly using his cauldron. The next morning third uncle comes back and Losing who gives him all those pills. Third uncle watches them, so be very careful. In the world of cultivation even a small mistake can cost you your life. Don't trust anyone easily. Losing Joe assures them not to worry, I will take full care. After they left, the stall owner was a slightly fat man, who was smiling. Losing Joe walks over to the stall and picks up a broken shield. The stall owner quickly starts speaking Taoist. "You have very good eyesight, so I was out of luck. I and some of my friends went to the Luyan mountain range to explore an ancient cultivator's cave. We thought that there would be a huge treasure there and we would become rich, but when we got there would be great spirit stones." Lu Jing who immediately refuses and says, "No, it is too expensive. I will give it 45 spirit stones." The stall owner thinks a little and says that it should not be less than that. "Could. The final price is 50 spirit stones. You pick up any fragment you want." Lu Jing who is sitting there looks at the fragments and picks up one of the black fragments that had golden colored magical designs on it. "That and that green fragment, and you told me that your brother is learning weapon refining. So let me tell you, Lu went 300 miles north from Motel City. Go, there you will see a stone, whose shape is like a sleeping bull. He brings that piece near the cauldron, that piece starts floating in the air, and green-colored energy starts coming out of it. That piece slowly melts and gets attached to the broken part of the cauldron, and see if it has spoiled itself by absorbing that piece of bronze." He puts the golden beet back inside the cauldron. As soon as the beet goes in, smoke comes out of the cauldron. Starts boiling. And there must be some huge treasure hidden in a small green plant. I must go there once. After this the scene shifts. And we see Losing Joe coming inside Wanbao Pavilion. This is a very big and proud. Our pavilion buys items at 80% of the market price. The total value of all these pills is 78 low great spirit stones. At this price, I can give you the ingredients for 39 potions of Nikki pill. Losing that without any harm would be enough to increase my cultivation level and break the bottleneck. Saying this, he eats the pill and closes his eyes and starts cultivation. If green-colored spiritual energy started rotating around it, it would have taken me 10 years to reach this level, and even then I probably would not have been successful. He gets up from his place and comes to the window and becomes a little sad looking at the view outside. He says that having come here, we have to do something. On the other hand, the scene shifts and we see a very dark and secret underground hall. Two people were present there. A young man with long hair and wearing dark red-colored clothes. I have done a thorough investigation of this matter in my secret way. And I came to know that all these pills are coming into the market through Lu Jing's Young of Lu family. The clan leader stops the metal balls in his hand and asks, if they calculate the expenses and losses of such a long journey, then they cannot make any profit in this business. I am 70% sure that there is some alchemist within the Lu family who was making these pills for them or has fallen below the establishment level, but I will never allow these Lu family insects to get into my head. The resources of Qingyun County are already very limited, and we find this fat victim working under the Jia family. Jia family has a strict rule that no family under them can fight among themselves. If we openly attack them and Jia family comes to know about this, then their anger will fall upon us and they will do this. I want that secret of the Lu family. Every smallest detail is required about the rate. And remember, this work should be done so neatly that no one gets a clue about us. The young man kneels down and says, I understand, clan leader. I promise that those people of the Lu family will not come back alive. After this, the scene shifts and we see a very dense and scary forest at night. Smoke comes out from all sides and many people come there wrapped in black clothes. All these people were wearing masks on their faces so that they could not be identified. These were the same Rog cultivators that the Zhou family had sent. Their leader comes forward and says in a scary voice that how dare you come to our area. You Lu family people are not afraid of dying. Third uncle looks at him angrily and says that you guys are wasting your time. I know who you guys are and what you want. If you had your way you would have attacked directly. But you know what will happen to you if Jia family finds out. The masked leader laughs and says to stop talking nonsense. If you people want to save your lives, then quietly hand over your storage boxes to us and nothing should be known about them. Second brother cries and says, Third uncle, I will not leave you here alone. Third uncle angrily pushes him back and says this is not the time to win. If you stay here you will also be killed. Go back to your family and tell everything to the clan leader. And yes, do not try to contact Jingzhou. Saying this, third uncle takes out his sword. He flies into the air and delivers a huge energy slash at the golden barrier with all his might. But that barrier was so powerful that the attack ends after hitting it and there is not even a scratch on the barrier. The master leader orders his men to attack them and take care that none of them escapes. All the masked people take out their swords and attack them. Third uncle was facing them all alone. Second brother also creates a huge fireball with his magic power and attacks them. Throws. But a masked man easily blocks his attack and throws him backwards. Second brother falls to the ground. Third uncle was surrounded from all sides. He gathers all his energy and shouts loudly that I will destroy you all along with me. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the second brother uses an earthquake talisman and escapes underground. The masked leader angrily tells his men to catch that boy and kill this old man quickly so that there are no further issues. Third uncle looks at them all angrily and says laughingly that if I have to die, I will take you all with me. Saying this, he takes out a red-colored fire explosion talisman from his clothes. The masked leader gets horrified after seeing this talisman and shouts to step back. By that time it was too late. Third uncle activates the talisman and a massive explosion occurs. And in a beggar-like condition, drenched in the rain, he was climbing the stairs of the Lu family. Crying, he calls out to the clan leader. Clan leader Lu Wenhao comes out and is shocked to see his condition. Second brother gives them third uncle's stories back and tells them that they were attacked by some black-clad men and third uncle gave his life to save him. Hearing this, the clan leader loses his senses and anger and pain are clearly visible in his eyes. It is further learned that this attack was carried out by disease cultivators. He also says that we will report to Jia family that Rog cultivators are roaming in our area. This will scare the real murderers. After this, Sixtant talks about Lu Jingzhou and says that his alchemy talent is very high, should the Jia family have any doubts about him. Because of the blast it is widely said that if our family does not become powerful then someone will come and kill our loved ones. Jingzhou will have to make these sacrifices for the family. The scene shifts to 6 and we go back to losing Zhou who is cultivating in his room. Z pendant suddenly tied on his waist starts glowing with K. He has a pain in his chest and turns away. He says that by continuously taking pills he has breached the 6th layer. Losing Zhou asks him why he came here alone. Second uncle sadly tells that third uncle was attacked by some disease cultivators and now he promises to make the family powerful and take revenge against them. Second uncle gives him 3 glowing magical talismans for protection and then they both leave. Both of them go to a ravine where there were huge dragon pillars. Almost an hour passes but no one comes there. While drinking tea, second uncle says that the Jia family is not giving us any importance, they have become very courageous by knowingly waiting for us. Then his eyes fall on Loose Joe, and he says that at such a young age, 6th layer, I have heard that an alchemist has been born in the Loose family, is it not you? Loose Joe, after hearing this, the leader believes him, and he asks to leave from there. Second uncle gives them respect and takes them out from there. On the way back, Loose Jing tells Joe that the Jia family will get fed up with our troubles and other families will attack us, so it would be better if I stay here in the immortal city. Here I will be safer and the resources will also be easily available. Second uncle agrees with him and says okay. Fire starts coming out. After a while he takes out 5,000 shining blue spirit stones from the cauldron. Seeing these stones a twinkle comes in his eyes, and he says now with these resources I have started earning money by establishing foundations. I have not come here to spite you, rather I had made a special request to the clan leader to send me to you to learn alchemy. Losing who smiling with my hands behind my head, I have directly have the monthly resources of all the other cultivators, so that I can learn alchemy and be useful to the family. Losing explains to him that alchemy it is a very boring and tiring task to do, and it also requires a lot of resources. And he tells that this is spirit medicine encyclopedia. I am giving you 3 months of time, you have to memorize all the herbs present in it and their properties very well. After 3 months, I myself was about your taste and insights. He says that first you should understand this manual well. When you are completely sure, then we will start practical. Sister Aldous reads the manual for a while, and then gets excited. We meet at the cultivation cave rental. The manager there, a fat man, welcomes them smilingly and asks what they want. Losing Joe tells that we want a cultivation cave, which also has alchemy rooms for the cave, foundation, establishment, and golden core level seniors, so there is common cultivators can't go. Losing Joe points to a black dot on the map and says that this is the cave I want. She says that this is equal to our family's total savings over the last several years. Have you gone crazy? But Losing Joe without any tension, a huge pile of spirit stones is on the table, glowing blue from behind, and you have to move your own formation inside. Spirit stones have to be used. After this, Losing Joe and old sister come to its door. The door was a very big and huge golden magical gate. Both of them come into the main hall of the cave and Losing Joe activates the isolation formation there. A transparent energy shield covers the entire hall. Losing Joe thinks in his mind that this strong barrier is on the way. She looks at him with surprise and says that I really did not expect that you will become so rich. Lujing who smiles and says that this is just the beginning. Our good days are yet to come. Now you take some rest. She tries to do so. But after a while there is a big explosion from inside the furnace and smoke starts coming out. Due to the explosion, old sister's face becomes completely black and her hair falls out. They were honest. She does that sadly and lies down on the ground. Losing Joe steps forward and picks up 3 black field pills that have fallen on the ground and says that failing is a normal thing. You go and rest first and think carefully about what mistake you made in controlling the fire. Losing Joe takes out that herb and later he gives it to Alda's sister. Alda's sister looks at that fresh herb in her hand completely. She was surprised and tears come in her eyes because she understood that Losing is there for you to go without worrying. I will guard here. Losing who goes to his cultivation room and bats on the ground and places blue spirit stones around himself. He closes his eyes and a pure spirit powerful shockwave comes out from those stones. He opens his eyes and happily looking at the sky, he says Chi condensation 7th layer, I have finally reached the late stage. He calculates in his mind and thinks that more stones have to be earned, otherwise it will be impossible for me to move forward. When he comes out of the room, old sister congratulates him happily. Lu Jingzhou says with a smile that this is just the beginning, our destination was still many. After his walk there was a lot of arrogance in the style. And as soon as he came, the teacup placed on the ground broke under his feet. The clan leader immediately stood up from his place, and giving him respect asked him that Jia Gao should be of Qi condensation level. If you refuse to obey this order, the entire Lu family would be wiped out. Hearing this, the clan leader was shocked. He immediately took out a bag from him. Manju clan leader takes a deep breath, and says I have already dealt with the Jia family, this time I will lead this team myself. Now tell which of you will join me. Ready to go along. Hearing this, Ald's brother will throw loose immediately if we live with this machine. If NDA is not able to return, then at least the roots of the Lu family should not be lost. Saying this, the clan leader sets fire to a magical paper, which burns in the air and turns to ashes. After this the scene shifts, and we have a huge say that I did not expect that you yourself will come to lead this team. Clan leader Lu says sadly that you have also come here yourself. It seems that this time something big is definitely going to happen. I afraid that I don't know how many of us. He was so full of pride that all the people present there immediately fell on their knees on the ground and bowed to him, saying that we bow to Jia Senior. Ancestor Jia looks at everyone and asks if everyone has come, saying, I am giving 2 tier 2 talismans, a Balikamar talisman and a Skyfire talisman. He waves his hand in the air and a lot of glowing red and round talismans fly in the air and go to all the families. Do you all understand what I said? The demon is full of beasts and is very dangerous. If we send only our people, then we will suffer a huge loss which the Jia family cannot afford. These other families will only act as our lay cannon fodder, so that they advise us to apply the powder present in this bottle on the most hidden parts of your body, and remember that no one should know anything about this. The clan leader should quietly take that bottle. Takes it, but when he was alone at night plotting against the Jia family. After this we see that everyone was traveling in the dense forest of the Luyun mountain range. It was nighttime and there was fog all around. Young Master Jia, suddenly there is a loud bang in the forest, and a golden pillar falls from the sky to the ground. The ground starts shaking badly, everyone becomes alert. The ground tier 1 hidden duskorp with lots of green glowing ice creates a huge blue and gold colored energy dome from inside to stop the scorpions. The scorpions were continuously attacking that shield, then the ground explodes and 2 extremely large and dangerous tier 2 hidden duskorp scorpions attack it. To no avail, Scorpions counterattacks with its tail and young Master Xia gets a cut on his shoulder from where blood begins to flow. Young Master Xia immediately retreats and a healing pot fills with green and blue light and a huge explosion occurs. When the smoke cleared, both tier 2 scorpions were completely destroyed and their pieces were lying on the ground. Young Master Jia brings his sword and says that whoever works harder will get the same share. If anyone tries to fight with each other again, I will kill him right there. Everyone becomes scared and calms down and starts collecting the materials silently. Also, don't mess with demon bees. They start moving forward through a narrow canyon. But then in the dark path of the canyon they see many glowing green eyes. It was a huge pack of gale wolves firing in that direction. Young Master Jia, seeing this attack, shouts, Tear to peak 1, protect the flanks. Then Ancestor Jia comes forward and creates a golden energy shield with his hands which makes them all go to that dangerous place, and after half an hour everyone has to gather back at this place. And the most important thing is that if anyone feels something strange or dangerous there, then immediately retreat from there without taking any risk. Everyone, if a big fight starts here after some time, then you stand quietly behind us and as soon as you feel that the situation is going out of our control, then immediately run away from there without worrying about us. Not taking into account that the level and number of demon beasts we have encountered along this route were more dangerous than ever before. This is no ordinary journey inside the Lian mountain range if Xia has to face this danger. He says that I cannot leave from here because my target is too obvious. I and Yin Fan will stay here and provide cover for your escape. Saying this, he takes a storage bag and a glowing raid from him. Taking out the talisman that no trouble will come, Yin Hui wipes her tears and goes to Yin Fang standing there. She gives the storage bag and says that if it really happened as the clan leader is saying, then I hope that you should start taking Lu in the future, otherwise Jia family will get angry on us. After this they come back to Senior Jia and bow to her and report that Senior Jia, we have checked our area thoroughly, but on hearing this, Senior Jia's eyes suddenly open and her eyes widen. A bright golden glow comes in his eyes. He immediately stands up from his place and orders the man to quickly show the way. Then he asks his most trusted companion Wanzhou to fire. Is it possible that there is a dangerous tier 3 demon beast hiding inside this cave? Senior Jia looks at him and smiles and says, Wanzhou, you too felt the strong energy inside this portal. Protect this path until I don't come back. Everyone says together and says, yes, Senior Jia. After this, Senior Jia goes inside that post cave alone. As soon as he goes a little further, in front of him, there is a very magnificent picture. Senior Jia's eyes get big with greed after seeing those golden sun fruits. Then the white eagle wakes up after sensing a noise and spreads his big wings and looks at Senior Jia with anger, but Senior Jia shrugs, he turns red. The sword cuts through the air and goes straight through the eagle's chest. The eagle makes a painful sound and falls to the ground and dies. Senior Jia walks leisurely near that golden tree and plucks a golden sun fruit with his hand. He grabs that glowing fruit from the door of his hut. 2 people come in. These were 2 powerful cultivators of the Li family, Li Mingyuan and Li Mingshan. Li Mingyuan laughs and taunts Taoist Jia kills that. Eating such a good thing alone is not a good habit. Senior Jia looks at both of them and he says seriously that we know very well that we cannot compete with you alone, but do you think that we have come here to sacrifice our lives without any backup plan, Mingshan? Show them our real treasure. Listen to this: if he tries to forcefully break the Mingsha ire, he will have to suffer a huge loss, and if he gets injured, he will not be able to survive the lightning tribulations of core formation in the future under any circumstances. But he looks towards that golden tree, and grinds his teeth and says, Senior Jia calls out to Wanzhou standing outside. When Wanzhou comes inside, Senior Jia orders him to go and pluck the remaining 2 fruits. Wanzhou carefully goes near that glowing tree and plucks both the golden sun fruits in a glowing wooden box. Senior Zia's eyes suddenly fall on the nest of that killed eagle. His eyes widen with surprise because inside that nest there was a very shining golden egg. Now he understands the whole thing as to why that eagle was so weak. Even after getting the treasure of Isman in my hands, you all ask for a share in it. You people are dreaming. Die. As soon as they say this, the seniors release their magic with all their might. Very terrible flames of ice come out from their hands, which are 2 big flaming lions. The whole cave starts shaking badly. Finally, the most powerful attacks of both of them collide with each other, due to which a very terrible explosion occurs. The explosion was so big that the roof of the cave bursts badly, and there is a big hole. It suddenly turns black and the clouds start thundering. A very scary and deafening scream comes from the sky. This sound was so powerful and painful that all the cultivators standing there immediately fell to the ground and started coming down. It was actually the mate of the same white eagle whom Senior Jia had just killed in the cave. The golden eagle came straight to the door of the cave and landed on the ground. There was unexpressed anger in its eyes. He says angrily. Senior Jia and Li Mingyuan were still bent on killing each other, when suddenly the cultivators standing outside come running into the cave in fear. Senior Jia goes crazy when they see them coming inside, and Shilat and everyone else start running here and there to save their lives. Li Mingyuan takes advantage of this. His gaze falls on that cave. Reading on the olden tree, where there was still one last golden sun fruit left, he quickly fires an extremely massive golden energy wave from the spikes rising in the air towards Li Mingyuan. Li Mingyuan quickly places a large heavy magical shield in front of him to protect himself, but the Tier 3 eagle's attack is so powerful that he falls to the ground and starts to slide back. Senior Jia understands. They realize that now it is almost impossible to escape from here. They quickly take out their storage bag and throw it towards Zheng and say catch it, and from here Zheng looks at Zheng and shouts loudly that I am stopping him. You run quickly. Zheng cries and tells them to shoot and then gets up and starts running fast outside. The golden eagle attacks Senior Jia. Senior Jia gets attacked. The attack hits him badly, and he flies in the air and falls on the ground. Blood was coming out of his mouth and he was completely defeated. On the other hand, Wanzhou somehow manages to escape from the cave, but suddenly a white-haired old man appears in the cave. This old man was already badly injured, and as soon as he came, he made an attack on the eagle, but after that he himself falls on the ground. The eagle is gone. That Wanzhou was running for his life in the dark forest holding that story's back close to his chest, but suddenly a very huge and scary, Tier 2 peak level Gale Wolf King appears in front of him. He runs towards that wolf. Then all the other wolves also come out from the darkness of the forest, and surround Zheng from all sides. Zheng tries to retreat, but he stumbles. After eating, he falls to the ground in fear. Using another of his magic and holding the talismans in his hands, she sees the Wolf King standing near Zheng's dead body, but then suddenly the Wolf King looks up to the sky and his ears perk up, as if he saw a wolf. The wolf leaves. Inhui quickly crawls to Zheng's body, taking the storage boxes lying near him. She picks it up and quickly runs away from there. After this come into the story. There is a time skip of half a year, where the power of this beastite was so great, that within just 3 days the Qin kingdom completely lost a third of its territory. Even the Xintian sect, which was one of the 4 largest and most powerful sects in this region, had a female elder sitting there reporting to the Golden Core ancestor. She tells that this time beastite is extremely dangerous, only a Tier 3 demon. The number of beasts alone is more than 10, and not even counting the Tier 2 beasts. He suggests that we should immediately send a message to the other 3 major sects for help, but Ancestor says in a serious voice that the other sects are busy saving their own lives at this time, so the entire command of the defense of anyone helping us will be in your hands. We will all follow your orders. After this Ancestor will be very strict. Passing the order, he tells his man Lu Yuan to spread my orders throughout the city. The first one will be compensated for this. The third order, gather all the alchemists and weapon refiners of the city, and make them work day and night so that there is no shortage of supplies. Ancestor angrily looks at everyone and shouts that due to this danger, a manager runs to the door of Losing Joe's cultivation cave. But he comes and Starts banging the door loudly. He shouts, "Doslu, open the door quickly, this is an absolute emergency." Losing Joe gets upset and opens the door and he will be killed. He tells Losing Joe to quickly go towards the east camp. Losing Joe immediately uses his brain and says, "Wait, I know how to refine some armed tier 1 pills." On hearing this, the manager's face becomes happy. He says that it was the eldest sister, Losing You and Zink Fang. Losing Zone goes to them and asks the eldest sister where the city people have assigned you guys. The eldest sister sadly tells that the cultivation of Zinc Chuan and Zinc Yuan were very low, so they survived the draft, but me and Zinc Fang have been sent to the defense line of the West City, which is very brother Zinc Fang's cultivation. Very little, yes. If I take advantage of my being an alchemist and go to a safe place, then he will be killed alone on the front line. I am his eldest sister, so it is my responsibility to protect him. Losing Zone becomes completely emotional after seeing this sacrifice of his. She was in red clothes with her bag. She was standing in front of a lot of scared alchemists. She announces in a strict voice that you all need spirit recovery pills, antidote pills, and healing pills. Each person will be given 5 potions materials. After half a month, whoever's success rate was less than 30% was taken out of here and went straight to the front line to be exploded, while on the other side, the Losing Zone was sitting completely quiet. He was secretly recovering the failed materials using his Suyu and Cauldron, and was easily refining high-quality pills, but in his mind he thought that a tall tree would always it withstands the wind, so I have to make potions pills. If you do not meet your target, then you will also meet the same fate as these people. The camera shifts, and we see that the rest of the failed alchemists were being dragged away by guards, and they were crying in fear and screaming that demon beasts have attacked us, and today we have to protect this city of ours at all costs. All those cultivators, they set up a big reward to boost morale, saying that whoever kills a tier 1 demon beast will receive a reward of 100 spirit stones, and whoever kills a tier 2 demon beast will receive a reward of 100 spirit stones. Peters takes out his swords and weapons and charges towards the beasts while yelling loudly. There are sounds of magic attacks and swords clashing everywhere. We also see Lu Xingfeng, who is swinging his swords. He was attacking a beast in extreme anger. Then there is the eldest, so you will have no way to escape. Xingfeng is a little confused and asks the eldest sister, if we kill more beasts, we will get more resources, so why should we stop ourselves? The eldest sister explains to her that if the city orders defense, the array is broken and there is no need to risk his life. Xingfeng understands his point and nods yes. Xingfeng then asks, eldest sister, why are these beasts attacking in such large numbers, when all these heads belong to one, the eldest sister city? And we see Lu Xingzhou, who was walking among the injured and tired cultivators, suddenly his eyes on another. She was sitting on the ground in a state of fear and despair. This was her 4th hand. Lu Xing, who seeing her in this condition, gestured to her. There were tears in her eyes and fear was clearly visible on her face. She said in a low voice, don't ask me anything, Lu Xing. If I survive, I will kill you myself, but if I am killed, I will not survive. Saying this 4th hand, she quickly walks away from there, and Luxing, who keeps watching them with worry as they go. After a while we see that Luxing, who comes to old sister and Xingfeng, has brought pills. He takes out some shining bottles from his bag and gives them to both of them. Xingfeng is very happy to see those pills and says, third brother, thank you very much. Now I will be more careful with these pills, because it is very important for the family. Eldest sister says, don't worry, I will keep an eye on him. You just quickly go back from here to a safe place. Lu Xingzhou starts to move back from there, and the whole city shakes badly. Lu Xingzhou is shocked to feel the power of that attack, and says that such dangerous pressure, this cannot be the attack of a tier 1 beast. Standing there on the wall, the ancestors also, seeing this attack, our foundation establishment, the cultivators, take out their swords and magic weapons, and start firing their most powerful river energy attacks at those tier 2 beasts flying in the sky. By all means, this array of ours will not be able to withstand them for long. The ancestors think seriously for a while, and then say that I have a very dangerous but necessary plan. We all will fight this together. Coming out of the array, those 20 at the surprise, a glowing token is given, and it is given that with this token you will control this defense array. When I give the signal, open a path in the array, and as soon as we come back inside, immediately close it. There is no mistake in this establishment. Cultivators come out of the array flying in the air. They land directly in the middle of the army of demon beasts, and with their terrible attacks they destroy those beasts. They start killing. Ancestor creates a huge golden magic seal with his hand, which crushes many beasts together. The rest of the cultivators also use their swords. Those beasts are very terrible and start coming out today. Ancestor and Commander Lu look up and are shocked. From inside that vortex, 5 very dangerous, tier 3 core formation demon beasts come out, among them a flaming lion, a wish illegal, a big gorilla, They run inside the array and the disciple immediately closes the array. But those beasts were not going to leave them so easily. The golden eagle spreads its wings in the air and fires an extremely massive and destructive golden energy beam from its mouth directly on that defense array. The ancestor inserts its wings from inside the array into the city and there is complete chaos. An orgy of death starts everywhere. Guerrilla buildings are destroyed by there. The lion was breaking the cultivators alive with his hands, and the lion was chewing the cultivators alive. The ancestor screamed with anger and fear that till his last breath, he fell on the ground and blood was coming out of his mouth. Commander Lu was also badly injured and he batted on the ground and said to his comrades, "Friends, I can't fight anymore. I am the first of you. I am leaving this world." On the other hand, suddenly from the sky comes a very magnificent and powerful golden light. The sword beam comes down and blocks that eagle's attack midway. Along with it a huge phoenix made of fire appears in the air, which directly attacks those beasts. Amla takes a sigh of relief after seeing him and bows down and says, "Taoist, thank you very much. If you had not come on time, we would all have been killed here today, then the sky would have fallen." An extremely huge and magnificent flying ship piercing the clouds, saying that let's solve the issue of these beasts first, things will be discussed later. Saying this, he and Li Tianyi pounce on those beasts with all their might. Their power was so much that those tier 3 beasts start retreating, but then the Assam dragon says in his heavy voice, "How dare you humans come to my territory and kill my companions?" Li Tianyi moves forward in his air and points his sword and says, "I have killed him." Then he immediately swings his sword in the air and creates a massive golden sword formation to block the attack. Both attacks collide and an extremely large explosion occurs, but the core formation and the nascent soul chi dragon laugh and say that your power was only so much, now get ready to die. Go. The dragon makes another attack to finish him off, but then suddenly Maul, whose real name was Wang Mingyang and he himself is a nascent, taunts him and says that your status is only so much that you are showing your power over the core formation child. The day this disciple of mine reached the nascent soul level, that day you could not stand in front of him even for a minute. Li Tianyi gets up from the ground and shouts angrily that you remember me, within 50 years I will definitely defeat you. Wang Mingyang looks at him angrily and scolds him saying, "Shut up idiot, how dare you, why did you help us?" He also tells that I heard that those people in the Qin kingdom did not want to lose their core formation cultivators, so they helped us, and now he had some important work in the sect, so he will go back, and along with this, the rent of all the shops present inside the city is completely waived for the next 2 years, so that the city can stand back up. Upon hearing this, all the cultivators zoom with joy, and quickly return to their homes. I should get out of here. Just then he meets Han Yushi, who was a foundation establishment cultivator. Han Yushi looks at him and smiles and says, "Lushing Zhou, please avoid my alchemy, but my Kamna family is very weak right now and they need me. I can't leave them alone and go to any sect." In his mind he also thinks that if I go to a big sect, then the powerful cultivators there will keep it for themselves. Lu Xing who thanks them and leaves from there. While walking on the way, Lu Xing who comes to a deserted alley, where his fourth hunt was hiding and waiting for her. Fourth hunt looks at her and no one comes there. "You go there and hide for now, I will meet you later and talk about everything." Fourth hunt takes the token and leaves from there. After this Lu Xing who comes to the broken part of the city, where the Eldesis press is, and says that you did absolutely right. Then she asks what is the plan next, what are we here? Lu Xingzhou smiles and says that the city is just being rebuilt, an ancestor has waived the rent for 2 years. Lu Xingzhou puts his hand on the counter and says, "Manager, we have to rent an ordinary shop." The manager checks his book and tells that the 1-year rent for an ordinary shop will be 15 great spirit stones. Tell you how many years? This offer is only for those old shopkeepers who have been there before. We're doing business here since new tenants will have to pay full rent. The manager says that I can't take a decision on this alone, I will have to talk to my senior uncle about this. After this, Lushing Zhou, old sister Lushing looks at you and says, "Old sister, now you prepare to open the shop, I will go and refine some pills till then." Old sister asks him to wait. "You are too bad." There was blood on her clothes and she was badly injured. Her mother-in-law was walking fast. Lu Xingzhou gets very upset after seeing her in this condition and goes to her and asks that I faced the 4th haunted beast. I was only able to survive because the clan leader had already made some arrangements, and he had prepared a backup plan to save me. Lu Xingzhou was shocked to hear this. The Li family was put after us. Now that everyone there has been killed, we don't have any evidence left. If I go out now and tell all these things, do you think that anyone will believe me? I had taken it out from the body of Jia family senior Jia Lingzhou. You yourself should think carefully and handle it. In the end she says that now the condition of the family has become such that the old people are leaving, and the newcomers are not ready yet. Now the whole how can a mid-stage cultivator have so many points? 4th Hunt must have done something big there. He tells 4th Hunt that you rest here, I will leave. After this we see Lushing Joe puts those two things in his bag and leaves from there. After this the scene shifts and we see Lushing Joe back in his shop. Old sister comes to him and says, "Third brother, from today you will refine pill for free and we also collect pill recipes." Old sister gets completely shocked after hearing the word free and says, "Refine pill for free? Have you gone crazy?" Lushing, who explains to her that there may be issues, old sister is impressed by his wisdom and agrees. The next day we see that the door of Baichao Dan opens and a huge crowd gathers outside the shop. Everyone looks at that signboard, announces in a loud voice, "Taoist, don't worry, our shop does what it says, we guarantee that we will take care of you. Tier 1 will refine the pills and give us, and our success rate will not be less than 30%, if we achieve 30% success rate." She takes out two glowing pills and places them in his hand. The man picks those pills in his hand and looks at them carefully and checks their quality. After this the scene shifts and we see a man in the form of a person doing cultivation in a room. Eld's sister remains calm and places two glowing bottles in front of him and says that's okay, they will cost 102 spirit stones. The man immediately takes out the spirit stones from his back and places them on the table. Then he says that it is okay. "I agree." Saying this he leaves from there. As soon as he leaves, the rest of the crowd standing outside the shop also immediately enters and forms a line to buy pills. The business of the shop starts immediately. As soon as the back opens, an extremely shining light comes out from inside it, and thousands of blue spirit stones start falling on the ground. The whole room is filled with the light of those spirit stones. Lu Xing finds those stones. This means that this is not a common thing. It must be the egg of some very dangerous and rare demon beast. Thinking this, he makes a small cut on his finger and drops a drop of his blood on that egg so that he can make it his own. Even more than the first one in the bag, millions of shining spirit stones come out and become a big pile. Along with those stones, there are some magical boxes and a shining golden shield also comes out. Lushing, who is giving this huge treasure, sitting on the ground. "Finally the sky has listened to me, the sky has shown its favor to our Lu family, now no one can stop me from reaching the foundation establishment." He quickly lies down on the ground and starts tossing those spirit stones in the air. After a while he happens and says, "Golden sun fruits, this is a breakthrough in the core formation. Are used to do." It means that Zia Linzo had made that whole plan to get these very fruits. Then he opens another box in which a glowing Z slip was kept. He puts that Z slip on his forehead, then he realizes that he was going to do it, but he had bad luck, and now it is all mine. After this he picks up another purple-colored Z slip. As he reads it, a bright glint in his eyes. This was a very powerful sword technique, whose name was Purple Void Sword Art. Boss sees the most special feature of this technique, and says that it multiplies the three illusions trapping heaven array power, but to run it, the magic power flows like water. This is a self-destructive technique, in which the enemy takes 1000 damage. He gets his 800, after this his eyes red on three glowing purple ores. He sees Norse coming to the eldest sister. He had a packed bundle in his hand. He puts that bundle on the table and says that, "Eldest sister, I am going to secluded cultivation for some time, do not disturb me under any circumstances, no matter what happens." Seeing his seriousness, the eldest sister agrees. He keeps the furnace and lights the fire in it. This time he was controlling that fire by using that purple void sword art. The purple-colored sword aura was coming out from his fingers and going inside that furnace, but suddenly there is a mistake in the fire control and smoke starts coming out from inside the furnace. Lushing closes his eyes and starts cultivation and pill refining again with full concentration. This time a very powerful aura starts coming out from his body, all around him. Glowing energy starts roaming around. Finally there is a strong energy blast and Lushing Joe opens his eyes. A lot of glowing spirit bees come out of one of his eyes. All these bees start flying in the air. Lushing Joe gets a little worried after seeing them and says, "Now what should these bees be given to eat?" He takes out some old pills from him and keeps them on the ground, shakes them. He throws some failed and useless pills in the air. He puts it inside the collar. The collar is activated and green light starts coming out of it. In no time all those failed pills turn back into their original fresh herbs. We see the side of Lushing, who smiles watching this process. A very mysterious woman comes inside the shop. She was wearing all black clothes and was wearing a bamboo hat on her head, due to which her face was completely hidden. She comes walking to the counter and meets the eldest sister. She asks, "Do you refine pills, is this true?" The eldest sister confidently says that yes, this is absolutely true, provided that she is not above Peltier 1. The woman says that it is okay. "So can I meet the alchemist of your shop?" Just then the door opened. Lada Hai and Lu Xing, who opens that parchment and reads it. There was an appearance-altering pill written on it. Through this pill any person could change his appearance for 7 days and even higher-level cultivators could not recognize him. Lu Xing, who says seriously that this is a pill, "I cannot give any guarantee of its success, I can only try." The woman requests, Alchemist Lu, I request you to help me in this, even if you fail, I will not hold any grudge against you. Lu Xingzhou asks what happens and says that the biggest mistake in pill refining is haste. This pill is very difficult anyway, if I hurry then everything will fail. The woman realizes her mistake and apologizes saying I'm sorry, bring as many as you can. Eldest sister takes the bag and immediately leaves from there. After this we see Lu Xingzhou refining the pill. She is in front of the furnace. Was sitting and controlling the fire, but suddenly the 5 pills come out. Lu Xingzhou is happy to see those pills and says that from 4 portion material I have refined 6 pills, 1 peak tier. 1 pill is no longer a difficult task for me. She gives those pills a glowing white ball to Lu Xingzhou and says Alchemist Lu Xingzhou at first refuses and says that I was told that I will refine it for free, so I cannot take it. But the woman insists that you have solved such a big problem of mine. Lu Xingzhou is surprised to see it and says that mind calming grass, it strengthens the soul of the herb cultivator and stabilizes the mind. It is very useful during the foundation establishment. It seems that the woman was really very rich, that she gave me such a rare thing. After this Lu Xingzhou, who was the eldest sister, calls out to him and feeds him some energy pills and then meditates on the ground and goes to bat. He starts his cultivation and a vortex of glowing energy is formed around him. A bright aura starts emanating from his body. After some time he opens his eyes and says happily, after all, this is very good news. If the clan leader gets to know about this, he will be very happy. Lu Xingzhou smiles and asks, eldest sister, have you found those herbs for me? Sister gives him a heavy bag and says that this bag contains all the other basic herbs, and besides this, he gets ready to go to the black market with our shop of the last 1 year in it. After this the scene shifts and we see Lu Xingzhou in his room. He gets a little angry and upset and says that I have just come out of circulation and you guys are making me do so much work. Jay shows the same black token which the eldest sister had given him. The manager shows the token. He checks carefully and signals him to go ahead, saying please go ahead. Lu Xingzhou stands on a glowing red teleportation area and with a bright light he teleports directly inside the black market. He was also worried about how to sell those second-tier artifacts because selling them openly was dangerous. Now with this clock my identity will be completely safe. He quickly gives 100 spirit stones and wears that clock and goes inside through the big door of the black market. The scene is like a black market and there will be no bargaining in it. Lu Xingzhou immediately buys it by paying money. After this he himself sets up his stall in an empty place. On the table he finds some pill bottles, a signboard on which Illusion Dreamflower was written, and also the glitter that he got from Jiao Linzhou's storage bag. You have forgotten the rules of this place, I cannot tell their source to anyone. The man says okay, give me both of these. 2. He throws a heavy bag of spirit stones towards Lu Xingzhou and walks away with the artifacts. Lu Xingzhou checks the bag, thinks about it and asks what he wants. Lu Xingzhou tells him that he needs something like that. The boy takes him to a private room, where the same old manager comes, who had 3 different boxes. The manager will not be able to tick in front of it and will dig his power, but its use is dangerous and if care is not taken, it can even hurt the user himself. Its price is 1000 spirit stones per seed. Then the manager opens another box, which has a glowing blue. Lu Xingzhou looks towards the 3rd box, and asks why you did not open this 3rd box. The manager laughs a little and says, Taoist. The price of this 3rd item is a little more expensive. Hearing this, Lu Xingzhou without saying anything takes out 1000 shining spirits from his bag. I did not mean that, I am not worried. The manager immediately opens the 3rd box, from inside which is an extremely powerful golden light starts coming out. Inside that box there was a golden talisman with 2 dragons drawn on it. The manager tells that this is the golden flood dragon scissors talisman treasure. Inside it is Lu Xingzhou. Without any hesitation says with desire that I want these 3 items, tell me the total calculation. The manager happily tells that the total price of the 3 items is 19,500 spirit stones, but I will give you a discount of 19,000. I will give it in spirit stones. Lu Xingzhou, who takes the pill on spirit stones, takes the pill. With a glowing magic, his face and body completely change, and he takes the form of a bad man. He also changes his clothes, wears tattered old clothes, and becomes like a beggar. After a while, 3 people come to the place where the Jia clan leader was sitting angrily. On the table in front of him, the same sword and shield were kept, which Lu Xingzhou, a young man named Jia Xiu Yuan, who had sold it, tells that second uncle, you look carefully. The Jia clan leader clenches his fists in anger, and says that it has been more than a month. Those people have really been killed in the Luyun mountain range, and someone has looted their belongings. Xiu Yuan further explains that Adam was running fast. Bai Chao Dantang comes into the shop. Han Yushi was at the counter inside the shop. Lu Xingzhou closes the door of the shop. Eldest sister Lu Xingyu comes there and gives it to the sister, who is surprised to see him in this strange form. Eldest sister is worried and asks 3rd brother, What the hell happened? What answer will we give to the family if we leave suddenly? Lu Xingzhou says I have an explanation. There's no time to do it, if you don't. Unless it's absolutely necessary, don't speak here. Lu Xingzhou shows the red mark on his neck, and says in a serious voice that the Li family's people in the fourth haunt, the black market, have identified those artifacts. Fourth, yes, you are our Lu family's last hope. I can't let you die. Lu Xingzhou takes out the shining talismanic treasure box from his bag. He opens it, and the light of the golden dragons begins to come out of it, and tells fourth aunt, you go from here to Tianyuan City and join up with eldest sister. She has to handle a lot of work there alone. You are needed there. Fourth aunt agrees and leaves from there. Seek out and take out every late-stage condensation cultivator named Lu. Don't kill anyone. Leaving, the scene shifts, and we see Lu Xingzhou running fast through the forest. Suddenly he is surrounded by him. Killed along with me. If you save me, I will be your slave for the rest of my life, and will never betray you. The bandit leader takes out his big sword and says laughingly, boy, will you help her? But she completely ignored me. All my acting went in vain. Bandit leader. Angrily he says, what is my fault in this? Who would have thought that this alchemist would be so stone-hearted? Well, if you don't mind, a big fire explosion happens, but the bandit leader easily blocks that attack with his golden shield. The bandit leader says angrily that you alchemists are really very rich. You were throwing the talisman like that, it hits a big tree and falls on the ground. He starts bleeding from his mouth and is badly injured. The bandit leader slowly approaches him and picks up his sword. Lu Xing, who was too late to hit the ground, Lu Xing, who throws the seat towards them. An extremely massive and deafening lightning explosion occurs. The entire forest is filled with blue and purple light. The power of the explosion was so much that it is a double-edged sword. Using it again would be like inviting death. He takes out a glowing green healing pill from his back with great difficulty and eats it, and goes to meditate in a hidden cave. After a while the injuries on his body start healing, and it would be better to go to some mortal city and get married and live comfortably. The second man laughs and says that you think you will be able to become rich like the Lu family. The first man says sadly that don't mention the Lu family's name. I don't know which letter they wrote. Wasn't it destroyed a year ago? People said it was the work of evil cultivators, but the other man says that's nonsense. I myself heard that a core formation ancestor attacked them. An extremely huge and scary giant palm print was found on Linglong Mountain. Such power-headed people were not the pursuers of the immortal city. A core formation ancestor, after all, it was a human Lu family. What kind of thing did Lu have, for which a core formation ancestor himself came and wiped out the entire family, and silenced everyone? Only then his eyes read on his mysterious Cauldron, and he understands the whole thing. He takes form, and goes towards the mountain. After reaching there he sees that the entire mountain and the estate of the Lu family was completely destroyed. There were broken walls and burnt wood lying everywhere. Those stairs. But while climbing, he notices that the man with the clock appears in front of him, and angrily says, old man, open your storage bag and show it. Lu Xing, who is scared and trembling, opens his bag, and shows that there were only a few empty bottles and useless low-grade spirit stones in it. He cries and says, I don't understand that the ancestor brought us here to this deserted place. Why have we been kept to give and on top of it we have also been asked to hide our identity. After this the scene shifts and we see Lu Xingzhou in his real form running fast through the streets of a city. He had come after Cauldron, so he will not leave me so easily. The scene shifts and we see Lu Xingzhou on a barren and burnt land. This Lu Xingzhou here today in this place, I swear for all of you. There was definitely a very dangerous anger and determination in his eyes. After this we see Lu Xingzhou walking in an extremely magnificent and heavy immortal city. He thinks in his mind that now I am completely alone and no one knows me in this city. All inside there was a white-haired old man sitting. Lu Xingzhou bows to him respectfully and says, Senior, I want you to forge a magic weapon for me, old man. Without looking at him he says that I am not in the mood today, come tomorrow. Then there is a muscular one there. The next day we see that Lu Xingzhou comes to that shop again. He says to the bad man, that old man, what excuse do you have to refuse me today? Or have you thought of some new excuse? The old man smiles, if you can make lusher, then one will do. The old man says while drinking tea that Lu Xingzhou says angrily, old man, are you deaf? I told you 3 words. The old man says that your hearing power is better than these bad bones of mine. The man says that by the time you come back from the market, the food will be cold. I have the materials already in the basement. When the weapons are ready, then we will do the calculations. Then he calls out to that muscular man, and says come here and help me and prepare the materials. Lu Xingzhou would understand and gets to work. After a while we see the 3 of them in an extremely huge and glowing forging room, where a huge cauldron was kept. Fire was burning all around the cauldron. The process was very intense. Sweat was dripping from Lu Xingzhou's forehead and his breath was profuse. Due to the heat of the fire and the magic drain, there was no blood in his mouth. He starts to get angry, But he does not give up and keeps on giving power. Finally, in that cauldron there was one red and one golden. Along with them there was also a powerful Amar and a gluing shield. Lushing Jove is happy to see these weapons, and says that it is very good. This old man's forging skills are really very dangerous. There were some people talking among themselves. One man says that I don't understand that fifth. What is Uncle thinking? It's almost been 2 years and he is still asking us to find those people. The light in illusion Dreamflower's mind lights up. He thinks in his mind that Li Xiaoyuan, so this means Li Xiaoyuan is actually a man from the Jia family. He chased me for 2 years continuously. Well, finally I found out who thinks in the dark, and then a gray-colored person passed by him. He takes off the mask and puts it on the table. He tells that it is called Illusion Spirit Mask. After wearing it, your face will change completely, and you will look like an unknown person. But this is absolutely garbage. But people who go to underground auctions must be using it to hide their identity, and now I only have one appearance-altering pill left. So I have no other way to get a higher price. Manager Yu says. Taoist, this thing may seem common, but it is very useful for hiding from the enemies, and you know that there is no bargaining in Wanbao Pavilion. Lu Shanzhou's anger, this has robbed me badly, but if it can save me from the eyes of the Jia family, then this price is right. Saying this he puts the mask on his face. As soon as he wears the mask, his face changes completely, and he is like a... But he is acting and says, Go Taoist, you are also setting up your stall. Go tells that disciple recruitment event is coming, hence there is a lot of crowd, so thought I should sell some talismans, then go and exchange them for items. You can ask people if they will sell their items in exchange for spirit stones. We rogue cultivators can go there and try our luck. After all, spirit stones, who doesn't? Should I? Why haven't the people from Lush sect come yet? Just then, the door of the hall opens, and a very beautiful girl walks in. She is wearing white and light blue clothes. This is Zheng Ningxue from Madison Kings. She doesn't need to speak in most ordinary matters, and we are not that close, so don't call me like that. Cartons that you have brought such useless things, put them back and don't make fun of yourself. Ningxuan gets angry and bats back. After this, Zheng Ningxue comes forward, and on the table there is a very beautiful and very powerful herb for soul cultivation. I have to get it at any cost. He immediately gets up from his place and a heavy set of spirit stones back. He puts it on the table and says that he wants to buy it. Zhang Ning is the inner core of the centipede and its eggs. In exchange for these I want cultivation enhancement pills or the core of the fire attribute demon beast. Zhang Ning looks at the centipede with surprise and says, but I would have kept the spirit gathering pills, 2 bottles of spirit recovery pills and 1 bottle of healing pills. Yes, he says, will you exchange them for these? The muscular man is happy to see so many pills and immediately agrees. It seems very suspicious to buy such expensive items twice in a row today. I should not buy anything else and get out of here. He quietly moves towards the door of the hall, but as soon as he leaves, but before he can leave the hall, I see Chen Chuan and the muscular man suddenly. They come in front of him and block his way. Zhang Ningxue walks behind him and says a little angrily, Taoist, why are you so stone-hearted? Your actions really hurt me. Then he suddenly turns his voice into a place in Luxing Zhao's mind and angrily turns to look at Zhang Ningxue. Zhang Ningxue smiles and makes a magic sign with her hands. A glowing blue magical barrier is formed around it, so that you don't miss it. See you in the next another awesome video. Till then, take care, goodbye.